New York City Schools Chancellor Richard Carranza starting this virtual town hall by touting a record high, 78.8% of students graduating in 2020, with gains in every borough despite remote learning during a pandemic. But the topic on parents' minds quickly shifted to when high schools will reopen their doors to in-person learning.
So it's a matter of capacity to be able to do the weekly testing, to be able to have students and staff safely in our middle schools and high schools.
Chancellor Carranza explained the students with the least amount of desire to go back to the classroom were actually high school students, pointing out these older students are better at remote learning, but parents pushed back.
What's your gut? Do you think they'll go back this year?
That's the gut doesn't work, Jennifer.
The chancellor revealing city leaders have mentioned a policy for COVID immunizations for students 16 and older, but haven't discussed more than that because vaccinating the student population is not the priority.
We have not developed a policy or finished a policy on requiring students to be vaccinated if they're 16 years old or older to come back to a school building.
Chancellor Carranza explaining the city has to be able to keep up with weekly COVID testing in schools. So many school staff members are on medical accommodations, they don't have enough educators for in-person learning. And an overwhelming amount of teachers want vaccinations, but are struggling to get an appointment with the shortage of vaccines.
For the fall, do you foresee school still being a blended model with kids having the option to stay remote?
It's going to depend on what the medical circumstances are at the time. The goal is that by this summer, we will have vaccinated enough people in New York City and that we will have built enough community resistance to the virus.
But before then, graduations in June will look similar to last year, many with drive-through options or virtual commencement ceremonies. Calorama, Pix 11 News.